folks. How you doing? Welcome to Daniel Smith, Eyes of the Tiger on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining me today as we kick off my first broadcast here on YouTube. But I've got a lot of great content also available on Substack, Daniel Smith at Substack.com. I'm here to bring you really a fresh perspective on college football, a deep South perspective, with our eyes on it all nationally. But we've got such an exciting year that I thought this is a great time to kick this off. If you enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I really appreciate it. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. I've got a BA in communications from the University of Memphis. I was raised on campus there. My father was a longtime administrator, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Years ago, when my father passed, we were on campus at Middle Tennessee State, and I'll probably do a feature article on that, and maybe a video too. But they were honoring my father in 2011, and I was up in the press box, and at that time, retired legendary Middle Tennessee football coach Boots Donnelly. I asked him, sitting right next to him there, I said, "Coach, why did you retire?" And he looked down at the field and he said, "It's right there, Danny." And I said, "What do you mean, Coach?" He goes, 3rd and 12. So that'll do it to a lot of coaches, 3rd and 12. It'll do it to a lot of old salesmen and people that have been in other industries. And I'm finally at the age where I think I'm just going to do something I enjoy, and I hope you do too. We'll have a lot of fun. So again, I feel like I'm a little behind the chains, like Coach Donnelly, starting this YouTube channel. So, but I'm very passionate about it. I'm very statistical and trend-based, and my published data will show you the basis for a lot of where I'm coming from. So check all of that out, and there's some great content on it. So, sports are cyclical. It's just the nature of it. You got teams that go on great runs, and then they go on downturns. We see it particularly in the pros where there's so much parity. It's designed for it to be even. The great teams get the worst draft pick, and then they play the toughest schedules. And so it's all really stacked against them. But you see these great runs by, the Packers with Lombardi, to those great teams that came with the 70s with the Steelers, to the 80s with the 49ers, the 90s with the Cowboys, and so forth. You look at the great run that the New England Patriots had with Tom Brady and a struggling coach in North Carolina named Bill Belichick. But sports are cyclical. So you see that even now with the resurgence in the NFL again, with the great run by the Kansas City Chiefs and also the emergence of the Philadelphia Eagles. They've all won a couple Super Bowls, and it's well noted. So, but that's the same in college, and it's even more pronounced, I think, in college. We are seeing an earthquake, a seismic shift, like plate tectonics underneath us, beneath our feet. The landscape of college football has shifted. There were 5 teams in the AP preseason poll, and there's only one of them left. That's number 1 Ohio State. Texas was knocked all the way out, and then a big win over Oklahoma brought them back in. Not so lucky was Clemson, still out after going 1-3 with 2 losses to teams they're not used to losing to resurgent, undefeated Georgia Tech, but a blast from the past, here they come, and also getting beat, when you look at it, by Pittsburgh. So you've seen some upsets, and it's really been a wild ride. Also knocked all the way out of there, Penn State, who has lost 3 already, and after they lost a tough game at number 3 Oregon, they're all the way out. They're out of the top 25. They lost 2 games after that to teams who were 20-point underdogs to them, UCLA and Northwestern, and they fired their coach. He joins the list of already 8 FBS coaches at programs that have have given their coaches the pink slips. Some of them huge payouts, $49 million to James Franklin to go away. We're seeing big openings all over the place at Virginia Tech, UCLA, also Arkansas, and the SEC is already open. There's rumblings now at Florida. The hot seat there at Florida State is heating up. You've seen other coaches as well. Like I said, already 8 openings, and we're at the halfway point. So, but in the big picture of things, the same 10 to 12 schools move the TV ratings, and they also divide up the national championships in college football. Those same 10 or 12 teams, 12 to 15 teams, again, go back through there and look at it. They are winning the national championships. They are moving the TV needle for everybody else, and you're seeing schools, though, that are looking into the future down the road and thinking there could be 2 or 3 power conferences going forward. Just look in the rearview mirror. The Pac-12's already dissolved, and the ACC, everybody in there is trying to get into the SEC or the Big 12 or the Big 10. Same thing with the Big 12. Those schools are wanting to get in that number. So is it going to be 40? Is it going to be 2 divisions of 4 with 20 schools each, 40? Would it be as big as 50? Or will it be a number like a pro, 34, 32, something like that going forward? Who knows? But what you're seeing is all of these programs surging out of nowhere, pouring hundreds of millions into football to try to remain in that number or to be in that number. What are you talking about? Take a look at it. Again, those top 5 teams, 4 of them are out. Georgia's still in there lurking. So really, 3 of them are out. But you've got in the top 10, Georgia's still in there in the top 10. But consider, where have these schools come from? Indiana is number 3 and looks like the hottest team with Coach Kirk Cignetti in the country. That's also in one of my articles on Substack. Again, Daniel Smith at Substack.com, and it'll tell you about this chaos. How about undefeated Georgia Tech, as I mentioned before, blast from the past there at number 12. A resurgent Miami team at number 2 who won all 5 of their national championships in the Big East, not in the ACC where they have never won a conference championship. But they've got their eyes on one this year, and they've got a good chance at it. This team could have it all. Not to be outdone, though, there's some teams there's 11 undefeated teams. About 50% of those are, again, in the South or Texas. I don't think it's a coincidence. So you take a look at the top 25, and again, you've seen a seismic shift. And what you're seeing is in the top 25, let's take a look at this chaos. We mentioned Miami. Number 2. Number 4, Texas A&M. Number 5, Ole Miss. Number 6, surging Alabama with 3 straight top 25 impressive wins against undefeated previously Vanderbilt and Missouri, and a good tough road win down there at Georgia, who had won a ton of straight of consecutive wins in that place. Texas Tech has the largest payroll for the team they're fielding this year, and they look like it. When you turn them on, that looks like a semi-pro team because they are. They are stacked, they are loaded, they're trying to play their way in that number. Don't count them out. They did it in basketball. Bob Knight and Tubby Smith said, "Oh no, we can't recruit out here to Lubbock." And but Chris Beard took 2 teams to the national Final Fours, national championship, semi-national finalists twice. So don't count Texas Tech, who has completely renovated their campus, their image, and their athletics program. Also, Georgia is still in the hunt there in the top 10. LSU's 10th has got a rough game at Vanderbilt, who had a bye this week, keep your eye on that one this Saturday. Bama will be at number 11 Tennessee in the third week of October. It's always a classic rivalry. Anything can happen, but all the chips are on this one. The team that wins it's got a leg in the playoffs. The team that loses has got one leg out. Again, there's Georgia Tech, number 12, undefeated. OU is hanging around, but they didn't look good in the Red River rivalry. They may be on their way out. Missouri looks very tough at 16 with a tough loss. Vandy is 17th. South Florida 19th, who has 3 great wins, winning at Florida Field at the Swamp, also beating Boise worse than number 16 Notre Dame did, and also knocking out, or at least handing their first loss to an undefeated North Texas team, who, by the way, won 59-10 at Washington State, who took Ole Miss to the wire in Oxford last weekend. Back in the top 25 is number 21 Texas, reemerged. I don't think they're done yet, but their season could go either way. Number 22 is undefeated Memphis, 6-0. They are a very dangerous team based on these criteria. They're number 3 in forcing turnovers. They've given up 20 points total in 6 games in the second half. 3 points a game in the second half. That's a dangerous team that can run the ball. 11th or 12th in the FBS in rushing. A team that's won a lot of games in the last 2 and 3 years. This will be their 12th straight bowl appearance, and it is their 7th AP Top 25 entry in 12 years. 15 of the top 25, 60% are in this segment of the country. That's probably a quarter, maybe a third of the United States. Yes, the epicenter is the South, and with all those teams I mentioned, the Mid-South is absolutely got a bunch of horses in the race in a historic year. So, again, keep your eyes glued as we're going to see some great games. Just to recap again this weekend, the Classic, third week in October, Tennessee and Alabama at Tuscaloosa. Big stakes there. Ole Miss goes down to Georgia. Ole Miss beat them last year in Oxford. The Bulldogs should be ready. LSU gets at Vanderbilt, with Vanderbilt coming off a bye week. Look out for the Commodores. And then you've got, of course, USC at Notre Dame. And then there's some really other great games. In 2 weeks, for example, you'll see Memphis and South Florida, and that could determine the group of 5 team that gets into the playoffs. But we'll see about that. But that's going to be possibly a top 20 game at 11 a.m. a week from Saturday on ESPN2. So I appreciate it so much you joining me here on my channel, my introductory video with you. Like and subscribe. I sure appreciate you. My motto: stay safe, have fun, be kind, laugh a lot, and let's have some fun, okay? See you next time here on my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much.